We've been learning a lot about influence. Okay, we're learning like the real advanced stuff. This is not stuff that you would see in a regular everyday seminar. Okay, this is really deep stuff and very powerful stuff. Okay, so I'm going to give you some more. I'm committed, just give you my 120%. I'm giving you everything that I could. With whatever time we have, I'm just going to give you everything. Okay, and you just capture and capture and capture some more. Okay, all right. So another way to influence and more like teach and communicate better with others using the learning styles. Who said that yesterday? There are 3 learning styles. Was it you, Stacy? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so we're going to talk about the 3 learning styles. So there are 3 learning styles. First, why is it important to understand the other person you're communicating to learning style? Why is it important? So they retain it better. Absolutely. What else? They enjoy learning. Exactly. What else? It will help you explain better and will make sure that, you know, they actually got it. Okay? And the problem with that, if you don't do that, okay, you would give communication, you will give instructions, and they will do something opposite of what you said. Okay? Which will cause you to do the job all over again, which would cost you money, frustration, and conflict with that person. Okay? So, now, understanding the learning style, I want you to pay attention to multiple dimensions here about the anchoring, the auditory anchors, and we want to talk about the visual anchors in the process. Okay? And I want to talk about kinesthetic anchors as well. Because there are 3 learning styles which are what? Visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Okay? Kinesthetic more like learn by doing. So let's start with visual people. Okay? Visual people, they tend to talk fast. They tend to talk really fast, and not just to talk fast, they look up when they're talking. Why are they looking up? Because one idea coming in, another idea coming out. They can't keep track. And they're moving, they're leaning in, their body posture is leaning in, and they're doing a lot of this gesturing and they're talking. Okay? And what kind of people they talk like that? Visual people or people on crack? I say that because I'm a visual person myself, and they're very creative. They come up with ideas. Okay? They keep visualizing. And when they do, when you're speaking to them, you realize that their pupils, they will go up when they go gather information. Remember yesterday we talked about the 5-second rule? When you're communicating with others, you want to maintain 5-second rule, and then you would look away, right? So I want you to start noticing when you're communicating with others, okay, their eyes will go somewhere. When you ask them a question, okay, their eyes will go somewhere. Some people, their eyes will go up. And for the people that their eyes go up, these are the visual people. Why? Because they are picturing something that either happened in the past, or they are imagining something that hasn't happened yet in the future. This was the base for lie detectors, to find lie detectors, and they train it with police departments to find out the criminals if they're lying or they're saying the truth. So they found out that normal wired people, meaning the right-handed people, okay, when they look up and to the left, okay, they are remembering something from the past, an image, a picture from the past. If they look up and to the right, they are imagining something that hasn't happened yet, somewhere in the future. Are you with me? Okay, good. Cross-wired people, meaning left-handed people, will be opposite. Okay? So if you're normally wired, when you go look up to the left, you know that you're remembering something from the past. So meaning, if a police officer, or a spouse in that matter, asks you, you know, so what did you do? Where were you last night, let's say? Okay? Or what were you doing on that date of, you know, so-and-so? And that person goes up and to the right, and you know they're normal wired, what are they doing here? They are imagining something hasn't happened yet in the future. So that they're more likely they're lying. Does that make sense? Okay? Otherwise, if they look up to the left, they're remembering something from the past, you know that they're saying the truth. Okay? This is just a bonus tip that I'm just including. This is not a lie detector seminar. Okay? But for you just to understand, visual people, difference between auditory and kinesthetic, what would that do for you? When you know someone is visual, by looking up, what would you do? When you see them, they're leaning forward, they're using a lot of this gesture, they're looking up, they're talking very fast, and visual people, they tend to dress nice. Why? They want to look good. Exactly. All right, good. And they use words. What kind of words do you think they use? I see what you mean. I imagine this would be great. Or picture what would happen if. Picture, imagine, see, okay? All these are visual words. So you want to tune in and hear these visual words. The more you hear these visual words, now this is a clue for you that this is a visual person. Does that make sense? Is everybody following me? Yeah? All right, good. Excellent. Let's talk now. Okay, so now if you want to communicate with these visual people or teach them something, or you want to give them some certain instruction on something, okay? How would you do it, knowing that they're visual? Show them, demonstrate for them, okay? Illustrate to them, speak the same language, use the word illustrate, imagine, picture, see. This is what you want to use these words with them. This is what would resonate most with them, okay? This is what would really resonate. All right, good. Job shadowing would be good for that as well, okay? By seeing someone else doing it in front of them, this is how they learn best. All right, good. Or maybe a webinar, they can see it, or a seminar like this, they can just see it. This is how one of the ways you can learn as well. Now, let's talk about auditory people. Auditory people, on the other hand, they speak much, much slower. And not just they speak much, much slower, they speak from the diaphragm. Every word comes out of the mouth has to be impeccable. They won't say one word more or one word less. They say what needs to be said, and that's it. And what kind of people do you think that they speak like that? What kind of jobs that they usually have? Talk radio show. Good morning. This is Bob from Fox News, and today we're going to talk about blah, 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 blah. Okay? That's auditory people. Professors, okay? So these are auditory people. Okay? Mostly they attract that. All right, good. So auditory people, what kind of words do they use? And the auditory people, as far as the body language clues, they stand straight. Okay? They stand straight, posture, and they speak slower. Okay? Slower. Yeah, so what kind of words do they use? Like, give me an example. Okay. Think of one, and if you come up with something, let me know. Okay? So, words, what are words that auditory words? So give me an example of auditory words. I hear where you're coming from. Okay? I hear. Does that resonate? Does that click? Okay? I hear you. Those are auditory words. Other words can you think about? That sounds good. Exactly. All right, very good. All right, good. So those are auditory people. So when you want to train them or want to communicate with them, this is the kind of words you just start using more with them. Okay? All right, very good. How would they learn best? By telling them verbally, okay? By having a conversation, by telling them, sitting in a seminar like this, by just listening, okay? Listening to audio programs, audiobooks, it works best for them as well, okay? Third types of people will be the kinesthetic. Kinesthetic people, on the other hand, they're very laid-back people. Kinesthetic people, when they go shopping for a mattress, they'll be like, touching it. Just want to make sure that feels good. It's about feel for kinesthetic people. So about how they feel about it, okay? They use words such as, I had a rough day today, or this is going to be a smooth project, okay? Or I don't feel really good about this, okay? Or how do you feel about this, okay? What other words can they use when it represents kinesthetic? What other words can they use? Feel, rough, smooth, warm. Yes, that gives me that little warm and cozy, fuzzy, whatever that is, right? All right, good. So you want to start, thinking of these words as our kinesthetic words. Okay, very good. And these people, they'll be the one they tell you, you know what, I need to sit on this for a couple of days and get back to you. Okay, or I gotta meditate on this. Okay, those are all touch feeling. You gotta touch in order for you to feel that. Okay? Those are kinesthetic people. And they could care less how they dress, by the way. They could care less how you think about them, how they dress, as long as they feel good, comfortable. Exactly. Okay? It doesn't matter how they dress, as long as they're feeling comfortable. Okay? Very good. All right. And how would you train them, or how would you communicate with them? What would be the best way to do that now? Hands-on. They learn best by doing. Okay? Those are the kinesthetic people. So as I'm saying, I'm confident that you are actually thinking of people at work that you're communicating with, and you are kind of categorizing them which modality is the most dominant. Now let me ask you this. Are any of these three modalities is the only modality we operate from? No, we don't. We are a mix of these three modalities. What we're looking for is, what is a dominant modality?